disaster recovery and business continuity. What is a disaster? A disaster is a natural or man-made hazard that results in significant physical damage or destruction, loss of life, or drastic change to the environment. In the context of an organization, this could mean loss of access to the premises, mass staff absence, or IT failure on a large scale. There are two stages to dealing with the disaster: disaster recovery and business continuity. What is disaster recovery? Disaster recovery would be the immediate steps taken to resume operations in the aftermath of an interruption. For example, assessing the damage, authorizing evacuation, providing first aid, and relocating staff. What is business continuity? Business continuity consists of procedures that ensure mission-critical functions can continue during and after a disaster. For example, mobilizing the Crisis Command Center, reviewing and prioritizing critical processes, obtaining applicable resource requirements from plan and business unit heads, and invoking business continuity plans for affected business units. In the event of a disaster, the crisis is managed at 3 levels. The crisis management team comprises the disaster recovery and business continuity teams, the local crisis management team, and the London Stock Exchange Group crisis management team. The involvement of each level will depend on the severity of the disaster. Dealing with a disaster. In a disaster scenario, the business continuity plan will be put into immediate effect. The crisis management team lead will take immediate charge of the situation. He will then get the disaster recovery and business continuity teams involved. The Crisis Command Center will now be set up. The affected areas, such as health and safety of the employees, image of the organization, and the critical processes impacted, will be evaluated. External communication such as media exposure of the disaster and internal communication such as notifying employees of the situation and the recovery action in place will be handled by designated personnel. When a disaster occurs, all these components will come together to follow through with the business continuity plan. Millennium IT's Business Continuity Strategy. If the Malabe premises are unavailable, software will operate through an alternate location. A certain number of environments will be available for production support and for any other prioritized work. Unless otherwise specified, most of the software staff will work remotely. If the Colombo site is unavailable, ESP will operate through the Malabe campus. ESP service desk will move to Malabe or operate remotely. ESP staff will either report directly to client sites or work remotely. Staff responsibility. Make sure your contact details on the company intranet are up to date. If you are a divisional head, project manager or team lead, know the contact numbers of your team members. In the event of a disaster situation, await your line manager's instructions. Refrain from propagating rumors or communicating with the press. Staff participation in certain types of testing is vital to the success of the business continuity plan. The relevant business continuity plan tests will be handled by the business continuity coordinators of each business unit. Remember, being prepared is the best way to deal with a disaster scenario.